Gonna wait a few more minutes as always to wait for some more people to trickle in. But when we can start, like 2 minutes or so. Hey, Angelo. Hey, Sam.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Awesome that you spontaneously finished the video.
I know, it was literally 2 minutes to go and put in the last clip, so yeah, hopefully if there's time, I'm happy to show it.
Yeah, for sure. If we don't cross like 1 hour with the call today, then we can push it in.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Hey Sam,
Hey Mist, how's it going?
my savior.
Ah, that 5 hour problem.
I'm still traumatized.
No, it's good, but it happens to me all the time.
Hey, Tomrox, how are you?
Hello, guys.
Hey, hey. So let's wait like 1 more minute and then we start. Hey, Secretive.
Whoops. Hello.
How are you doing?
Thank you. Actually, I think I did this. I did drama. My wife got it. Now, symptoms. So yeah, fine. But
Oh, I see. Your mic is kind of quiet. It doesn't pick up on your voice too well, but you don't have to present today, so it's not a big deal.
yeah.
Hey, Ali. Hey, Edward.
Hey, yeah, I'm in my car, so we'll be quiet as well today.
No
Hey,
problem. Hey, Ali. These eyes here as well. Really nice. Nice to see you.
Hello.
All right. I think we should just go ahead. Yeah, so welcome guys. Welcome to the 13th weekly dev call of Matchbox. It's great to see you all. For the people that are new here, this is basically our way to basically track the progress of the Matchbox grantees and to just come together and discuss the different projects, discuss about any kind of issues we might have or they might have. Just a nice little get together to really update each other on what's going on, which is always super helpful. And so today we have like 3 agenda points. And the first point on the agenda is a very small update on the .NET SDK by Tomrox. And for the uninitiated, this project is basically about finding a connection from, or actually building a connection from Starknet to the Unity game engine. And Tomrox is working on that with some help by Francesco. Then the second point on the agenda is an update on the music tools by Casey, the on-chain music tools. And if I'm not mistaken, we have something to listen to as well, which is really sweet. And lastly, we have an introduction to DeadlyGames by Genie and Takezo. They are our new grantees. We just onboarded them to the grants program. Super happy to support. Awesome looking project. Really like the art style. And spontaneously, Sam just DM'd me and said he has a video for the guild system he's working on. And so if we have time left, the video is about like 10 minutes long. So if we have time, don't cross 1 hour, then we can throw that in there in the end. If not, we're going to have to do it next week. Yeah, that's the agenda for today. Without further small talk, Tomrox, if you're ready, would love to hear the quick update on the .NET SDK. Tomrox, you are muted. Okay, maybe he's AFK or something. Let's try that later. Then let's just go ahead with Casey. Casey, are you ready?
Sure. So I've been working on a MIDI player that will work in React, and I've got that basic functionality going. And if you want to go to the music tools sidebar in the Discord, I uploaded 2 tunes. I don't believe that I can just play tunes from my I don't know actually how to pipe tunes into Discord, but I've made a Mega Man test using the player. That's one of the first things I've done, and also made a chiptune sound font that I'm in the process of finishing up, and it's basically for, you know, has all of those old oscillators that you know from those old video games, and the sound font is mapping to the general MIDI spec. And the little bit of background on that is there's this list of instruments that are in the MIDI spec that will sort of play a related sound font to that sound if you specify it in your MIDI file. So the great thing is that it will enable any old MIDI file to become a chiptune version. So you can listen to that in the music tools kind of sidebar. I've also attached a demo of a brainstorm just writing melodies for the game Realms, and been working with those folks. It's a great way to have a real world game to build this around and apply it to. And part of that is identifying their sonic vision and what they're looking for. And it's been a really interesting discussion so far to see where they're going with audio and what they want that kind of sonic world to be like. So in their case, it actually, I'll probably develop another sound font for them specifically that isn't as chiptunesy, because they've got sort of a different, more lush, you know, sonic vision. So if you want to listen to that audio, there's a few different sections in that musical brainstorm, and I did that so that I could have different scenes, so to speak, different audio that some is kind of intense, some feels more like a quest, some is more like ending denouement music. So I've got these different sections and am working on this kind of global arranger that will interact with these games for different scenes and that sort of thing. So one of the next steps now for me is to connect this player to StarkNet, and that entails getting ironing out my contracts to upload MIDI files and retrieve MIDI files. So that's what I'll be working on next. And yeah, feel free to take a listen to the test. The timing feels really strong on the MIDI player, so I'm really looking forward to trying a sort of trap music sound font where I can have really fast hi-hats for those sort of applications, as well as what I'm going to be working for in Realms. So the player is going to be, you know, multi-purpose, available for any game to use, and I'm just chipping away, testing on that, and finally able to focus again on the StarkNet side of things.
Awesome. Thanks for the update. Definitely looking forward to seeing you connect that to StarkNet. That's going to be super exciting. Does anybody know if you were to share your screen, would you be able to hear the audio? Like, would other people be able to hear the audio? If that works.
I think I just tried it, and I'm pretty sure it works. Or my mic might have been remaining on while it was playing, but it's worth a try, I think.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'd love to try.
Okay,
Casey.
cool.
Yeah.
Let me see how that would work. Cool.
basically just have to share your Discord screen or Discord application.
Yeah.
And that's basically it, I think.
Just doing a little preference changing. Oh, you know what? It looks like I'd have to. Okay, I'd have to quit and reopen because I had to change some preferences. Actually, Secretive, do you have the audio?
I do, but I have no idea how I would play it now.
I can just try it. I can just share my screen on Discord.
Oh, okay, great, thanks.
Let me just know if you guys can hear it. Give me a second.
I'm also trying to work this out, Casey, as well.
I wish it was easy.
Yeah, I wish it was easy too. But I'm guessing that for rights protection, it must be something blocking it, because it should be a lot easier otherwise.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this. I'll play it for like 2 seconds and just let me know if you hear something.
I hear it.
Yeah? Okay.
That's the general idea for that one. And you could check the brainstorm to hear more quest-oriented type melodies for realms.
I hope I didn't blow your guys' ears out with that. I hope it wasn't too loud. But yeah, super interesting. And just to give us more context about this, is basically you made the soundtrack of Mega Man work in the MIDI player, right?
Yep.
Awesome. If you want to listen to the other track, it's in the music tools channel right here. If you can see this, you have to pick your role in the right here, and you just have to push the other button as well, and you're going to see all the dev related channels. But yeah, that's really cool. Let me figure out how to stop my screen. There we go. All right, really cool. Thank you, Casey, for the update. Tomrox, are you here?
Yes, hello.
Awesome. Hey, would you like to give us the quick update on the .NET SDK?
Yes, of course. Let me share my screen.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so for those that were there last time I presented this, you may see a lot of similarities. Basically, the big thing for me that I added is this add transaction, which now allows to add transactions to the StartNet contract. As some of you may know, there is different type of contracts of transaction we can send. Currently, the one I managed to reproduce is the deploy one. So I'm deploying here an ERC20 contract. The method here is really generic. I'm just passing the whole body as a string. I imagine it would be nice to have some utility tools to allow the user to create that big body. So there is the part where we compile the code, there is generating the API, stuff like that. Yeah, here's the compiled program. So yeah, that's some of the things I'm thinking of. Always also thinking what could be the next steps. The end goal, as some of you may know, it's to have an SDK for Unity that we could use and build games with. But yeah, I still feel really far from that. Right now, I have days that communicate via HTTP with StartNet. but I'm having some trouble to see the next steps for the SDK. For the library, I still would like to make some proper integration tests. For now, it's ugly hard-coded tests. We can run it quickly. We'll see the output of that add transaction request. Let's see what happens. So in my variable here, oh sorry, right here, I'm receiving as a response again a JSON which says that the transaction was received. There is an address. Again, this I'm grabbing as a string, but this could be mapped to models like I was doing for the getters. But because transactions there's 3 different types of transactions, I guess the best would be to make a wrapper around this add transaction and make specific cases for the different type of transactions. And yeah, that's basically the progress. I think I would like to document a bit the library. There is also an open pull request on the Matchbox DAO .NET repository where you can have a look. You can pull the branch, play around, or if you want, don't hesitate to open issues. And yeah, that's basically it. Trying to figure out the next steps at the moment. And yeah, happy to hear your feedback or anything you have to say.
Thank you for the update. I would love to hear, like you already talked about it a bit, but like in terms of next steps, what would be like the big kind of high impact kind of things that you are planning to do?
So for games, like we know that NFTs are used a lot. So I imagine I would want to have in Unity the ability to easily deploy NFT contracts, deploy ERC20 contracts, and that Unity developer would have to understand this easily. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still really new in that blockchain thing. Still trying to figure out where this goes. This project idea was from Francesco, right? So I had him as a helper to try to figure out where we're going. But yeah, not sure what is that big next step.
Sure, yeah, makes sense. But do you feel like you're progressing okay with Francesco's help?
Yeah, it's okay. He's not really doing the technical part. He's just there, having calls with me and answering my questions. But yeah, it would be nice to have some plan regarding Unity, because for now I have no idea about Unity, to build plugins with it. So yeah, I definitely need to have a call with Seiko this week. Maybe other people, right? I feel like Seiko is working on other things. Maybe he's not the person that could help me the most. Yeah.
I see. Are there any people in here who are familiar with Unity and would like to kind of answer some of his questions or be kind of like a mentor for Tomrox? I also know there's someone in the .NET SDK channel who basically offered to help you with the project, and I DM'd him, but I haven't received a response by now. Have you been in contact with him?
And I DM'd him once, but yeah, I told him that I will talk to you or Seiko about this. But yeah, I have him added in friends. Maybe it will be easier to reach out. I can try again.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to ping him again. I think that would be super helpful. Otherwise, I'll try to find someone who can kind of help you out a bit with that, with all your questions. But I think, yeah, Francesco is probably a bit busy. But it's going to, I think it's going to work out some way or another. We're trying to let's find some kind of mentor person for you to help you out a bit. All right, that was the .NET SDK update. Next up on the agenda would be the introduction to DeadlyGames by Jeannie and Takizo. If you guys are ready, we'd love to hear what you're all about. Maybe give us a brief introduction on yourselves as well. We'd love to hear it. And yeah, the stage is yours.
Yeah, sure. Hi. I hope my voice is okay.
Yes.
I had to do this on my old Mac, so it's struggling right now. I don't know how the screen share is gonna go, but yeah, let's see.
The mic is fine. It's not too bad.
Yeah. All right. Let me start with myself. Also, I think Jeannie didn't arrive. I think she has caught up with something. I don't know. It's okay though. I can, do it alone. It's fine.
Sure.
I've been I've been in the space from the early times, but wasn't really a contributor. I had family business I was taking care of, so I was watching from side lane. But a year ago, I decided to jump in. I felt like I belong in this space. I really enjoyed some of the projects I saw spawning back then. So yeah, it's been a year or so that I took technical roles in projects. Biggest one is Spintop. It's a platform for blockchain games. It's really a typical platform business trying to create traffic between parties, gamers and games, creating products to create value and traffic between them. That's their purpose, and I basically built it from ground up by myself because they needed someone to take responsibility within the team for tech stuff. So it was an opportunity for me to go from amateur to pro, trying to answer all of their demands. So in this past year, I grew a lot. I mostly worked with Solidity. I did many things, many of the trivial contracts, managing those, and also developed two non-fork products with them as well, being in their product team as well. So yeah, that's like my pro reference kind of thing. But I always am an entrepreneur, so I never stopped hiring for my own projects. So right now we have a team of 6 working on this one, and another DeFi project with 5 people or so. All of them developers that I helped from beginning. So I like sharing what I learned a lot. So found out I should get some young people around me, and it's working so far. So yeah, this is me. Let me share my screen so I can talk about the project.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction to yourself.
So I don't know how the performance is, because for me it's jumping a lot of frames. But you can go ahead and it's Deadly.Games, the website. If this is not so good,
it's working fairly all right. I think it's fine.
All right. So this is more like it's called games, but this is more like a continuous process. We like to behave like a game studio, not just a NFT project. The project is like structured in 3 different parts. It's 3 different collections, I'd say. The first one is it's Deadly Purge. It's like I'm sure you have all seen this format, the loot format, and it's about that, but with a twist. Like, this is the entrance ticket to our games. You can play the games without these, but these will have some bonuses for you. So yeah, it's good to own one of these if you're gonna play the games. And we probably gonna they're gonna be free mint probably, at least for whitelisting period. So the idea is this is gonna be a primitive for the whole adventure, and at the beginning you won't see what you will get for individual games. It will be a mystery at the beginning, and then when the games start, and then for individual games, you'll see your revealed perk. This will become clear when we go to the games. But yeah, this is like this is a big collection. This is meant to be the inclusive part of things. Maybe we will produce more in the future if we need. But yeah, like, this is the entrance ticket, and for now we have 2 ways of getting these. First one is Discord whitelist, and second one is campaigns. We call campaigns like when we drop to collection owners, like, I don't know, Dope Wars owners, we set a deadline and an amount. So this can be a collaboration or just a guerrilla campaign, whatever. So we set 2 ways of getting these for now. And yeah, let's move on and you'll see how these sit in the overall scheme. Second part is the founder auctions. These are, I don't know if you know Nouns. They do this thing I like where they have a single auction every day, forever. This is similar to that, but we don't want it to be forever. So like these are continuous auctions. They're hourly. Of course, they can be extended, if there's a bidding war. But yeah, it will switch to next one after it's settled. So these are very scarce. These will be the stars of the project. These also include the art from our artist. Like, this is the most art heavy thing in the project. These are fathers. They are like on top of the pyramid here, and I will talk more about their role. But yeah, these are the precious assets in the system. So after these 2, we will start the games, and the games are. Let me go here. The games are inspired by the 7 Deadly Sins. We were excited about what if we can create these sensations with the tools offered by crypto. Like, can we make them feel greed or lust or envy with these tools? And we thought that this would be a pretty good journey to take and try. So yeah, these will be like these won't be released at a time. It will be released in a schedule. Probably they will be 4 to 6 weeks of breaks in between them. you know, it's it will take a lot for this game to end, probably a year or so after we start, and then at the end, it will there will be a big event, and then you'll pass on to the second game. So yeah, DeadlyGames overall will behave like a game studio that will, you know, create a continuous thing that you know, if you're interested, you play, and it evolves and moves on to different things. Let's go back. Right now, what we are doing, like for a long while, we didn't really think about StarkNet. Some people in the team were, you know, interested in Arbitrum. You know, they were close to the ecosystem, so they were talking about that, and I was like, as a developer, always, you know, was tracking what StarkNet was doing, and at some point, we said, okay, like we can start with, you know, static games, but StarkNet provides us, you know, to be you know, infinitely more interactive with the game. So it became apparent that we want to move the games here. So yeah, right now the status is like we have to do some changes with the contracts. We were ready for launch in, you know, Solidity contracts, but right now they also have to change for you know, like these perks are going to be unbundled in layer 2. You know, fathers are going to be staked here on layer 1. So these things, what I'm busy right now is thinking about these things, and also going through the contracts of other projects within the system to see how they did it, what are the common things to do in these scenarios. Yeah, so like as a summary of things, these are the abundant, you know, primitive types that we will start with, and these will have, you know, certain perks and bonuses for the games that are going to be played, and they will be decided on you know, point of announcement. So it's like a dynamic thing that, you know, reveals the upcoming games perk in time, and then you also have a mystery key at the end, which will you know, be revealed in time. You don't really know the purpose yet. I can't tell you, sorry. And then we move on to the auctions. So like the importance of these guys are, we also have a token called Karma, and all of these games, they reward these sins, and they also reward prayers. So if you win the game, if you're one of the winners, you get one of these sins, and if you're not a winner, you get prayers. And both of these things can be staked for the token. And these fathers are important because these guys steal from the, like you pay tax to these guys all along the games if you stake. So I mean, in an economic sense, they also are really valuable. So yeah, you get you know, seen NFTs from here, prayers, and then at the end, when you use the key, like all the games are over, and you want to use the key to, you know, unlock the next stage, you bring back those scenes and, you know, plug them into the into this one, and then you turn the key. So the idea is to you collect karma tokens. So the idea is to reincarnate you somehow, and then start on a new game at the next level. So yeah, I mean, we have some ideas for the next part, but this is like including development, like 1.5 years or so. So yeah, this is it, I think. I mean, feel free to. I'm not really good at presenting stuff, so feel free to go ahead. Visit the website and read on. We also have a Medium page. It's just the handle is DeadlyGames here. You can also follow the Twitter pages, Deadly.games, and like our repos will be open while we're developing. We just started on StarkNet side, but you can also follow if you're interested.
Awesome. Thank you for the presentation. I think one of the most obvious questions I have would be around the games themselves, right? Like, what type of games are they going to be? What's it going to look like? What kind of mechanics are involved?
Yeah.
How?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can so these are elements of mystery actually, but the first game I can talk about. It's similar to, it has a jackpot mechanics. It's a little jackpot in itself, and then but the idea is if you win the game in this jackpot, like imagine you have 1% chance, but you have right to go in multiple times, like up to 50. So this is like a jackpot thing, but you can adjust your risk and reward as it accumulates. And then the idea is if you win as a thing in this game, that makes you so this is the game greed, right? It makes you a greed holder, and then if you are a greed holder, you get some portion of the next jackpots until the game is over. And some percentage of it is left in the jackpot for continuation of the game, and some portion of it's left to the final part, so it can disperse to all members. So it's like a mini jackpot thing in itself, but because you can increase or decrease your chance of winning up to 50%, it becomes about how greedy you are to take the jackpot. Like if you see 8 ETH there, would you bet for ETH for 50% chance? That kind of situation. What we want to leave the player in a dilemma, like is this worth taking the shot at this point? And it also, this is like the short-term thing of the game. You also, have you will gain these SYN NFTs and prayer NFTs, which are stakeable for the token, which will be needed to enter the second game. You don't have to burn or something, but you will have to hold, because what I want to do is for this entry, the amount of karma tokens you need for each game, I will try to make it an average of the holders. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set the the intrinsic price to 0. Actually, it's just to the point where supply meets demand, right? And then let the market decide, let the players decide what the value is, because this is gonna be liquid. This is gonna have a pool, but I don't want this to be a liquidity mining thing. I want I want this to be to play the other games, to be able to continue with this experience. I don't really like the play to earn stuff. So yeah, it's not a liquidity mining token. It's but we want to have something liquid. So we, like next step will be having a perks market on StarkNet. A mini NFT marketplace on the website, so they can use that token to trade the perks, etc. Yeah, I'm not sure if I answered your question, but
So if I understand correctly, this first game is kind of a kind of jackpot kind of game, which incorporates some form of game theory because you can dynamically basically adjust your chance of winning or your risk. You mentioned that StarkNet allows you to do things that are much more interactive than if you were to do them on Layer 1 or on Arbitrum, for example. Do you plan for future games, for example, to be like more of a game itself instead of like a jackpot kind of system?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like this one, this grid is it like we had to discuss about gas because it was planned for mainnet. So we had to like this multiple entry thing was actually came out of trying to reduce the gas fees as possible for the players. So it was a mechanic built around that restriction actually. So it's like, yeah, this has been done, but for the other games, as I said, like we have rough ideas. But what we would like to do is to also grow with the community. So like if people look at this and have ideas for the scenes, we would like to pursue that as well. Also, if we are successful, what we would like to do is work with game developers to make this a game, maybe convert this whole thing into a Deadlyverse or something. Yeah, but we don't have any game developers in the team now. We have contract developers and front-end engineers. So for now, yeah, it's maybe second step will be to go more interactive things. So it's not really interactive with the jackpot. But yeah, maybe next step will be to do an interactive one, and then maybe try to up the game every time to make it more playable as we go. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I like the way you're thinking because it's actually kind of similar to Matchbox, where you want like other people to come in and potentially contribute to the games with ideas or with dev work potentially. Actually pretty aligned with Matchbox and what we're doing, which is really interesting. In terms of the games, I'm sure you'll have some kind of ideas in mind, right? But if I understood correctly, you need some help with like finding actual game devs to pursue that, correct?
Yeah. In the long run, it's like I think it's StarkNet creates this opportunity. So I feel like if the project is successful and I don't do that, I will feel bad. So yeah, if it's not so early to meet and start communicating with game devs if they're here. Yeah. But yeah, we will do that at some point. What we're focused on and much interested in was the playing around with the game theory ideas, creating these hard decisions for the players. But yeah, also these plus game mechanics will be much better.
Awesome. Thank you for the presentation. And I just have to mention, I really dig the art style. It's really cool. So compliment to your artists.
Great. I'll let her know. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, really cool stuff. Do we have any questions for DeadlyGames? Any questions, any remarks, any ideas, any feedback?
Feel free to drop by the Discord and confess. Father is there 24/7, blessing people, giving out whitelists.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's more interesting than I thought of. It's a weird channel, the Confession Booth channel. You should check it out, definitely. There are some weird stories going on there.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's basically you have to confess to a sin, right? And then you get a whitelist spot, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting concept.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a useful comment, but the style is really interesting and different. Very cool.
Yeah, thanks. I hope she joined this. She likes compliments, but yeah, maybe next time.
Any other questions or remarks about DeadlyGames? Don't be shy.
Yeah, it's a bit of mouthful, but everything has its purpose. Like if something interests you in this whole thing, just give the time and you'll see why for most of things. But yeah, I don't think I did a great presentation, but everything is here. It's much better written in the Medium articles as well. So yeah.
And if I understood correctly, the NFTs they're not live yet, right?
No, soon perks will be live. I'm just integrating the bridge and stuff now, because you will get one of these and unbundle them onto L2 to be able to use these perks with the games. And then when you bring back sins, you fill the slots like gems, and then you can unlock the second game. So like this whole thing was already ready to deploy, but I'm right now adding StarkNet stuff for the future. So it kind of stopped me for a while because we needed to decide about the architecture of the game now. It was easy when it was just on one chain. Now we have to decide, okay, this is minted at StarkNet, and then how do we utilize it? Those kind of stuff. So yeah, this is almost ready. Like we are aiming for 2 or 3 weeks to release this, but it's gonna be restricted. It's gonna start off as whitelist minting only, and we will decide on public stuff on the way. Because yeah, we spent a lot of time thinking about how to build the community, and there was many options to do it fast, with the help of influencers, etc. But we decided not to. We decided to be patient and take the time, because what we want to build is we want to be here for a long time. So so we're not really doing many marketing maneuvers to kickstart things. We're just slow grinding, and I am very happy with that because I can see projects with thousands of followers getting 5 to 6 likes for their posts, and like we have a much higher rate. Higher percentage of the community is real, as I'd say. So yeah, but yeah, it's gonna start slow. It's gonna be like maybe 1,000 of them released within 1 or 2 months, and then maybe we'll start doing it faster as the community grows. So yeah, soon, within 2 weeks, this gets opened and you can get a spot if you join Discord and confess your dirty secrets. Yeah.
And so, what do you mean by unbundling the NFTs on layer 2? Are the NFTs going to live on layer 2, or are they going to be minted on L1?
They're gonna be minted on layer 1 and traded on layer 1, but you can, like similar to dope wars, you can unbundle them to like into individual charms, and then you can use them in the games. Like you can see formation is the fodder auctions. This is a perk that makes your first bid free. So like if you unbundle these, they will be individual NFTs there that you can use when you enter the games. If you present this and then bid, then you can bid for free, that kind of thing. And then the layer 1 NFT, when you unbundle, it turns into a like a card that you put slots in, and those slots are the sins that are earned from the games. So like you will try to earn as much as possible, try to win and get a sin from each game to feel as much as you can. So at the final, you'll for the next game you'll have more advantage. Maybe there will be a collection that you mint according to your scorecard, that kind of thing. So yeah, like the main assets will live on mainnet, but all of the games, staking logic and token, they will be on startnet.
I see. Makes perfect sense. Thanks for clarifying. So it's kind of a pretty modular system. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I aim for best from both worlds. Like I want to grab some of the OpenSea traffic. So I think it makes sense for the main assets to be there.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was really interesting. Looking forward to how that all works out in a few months, a few weeks, if you go live with the first perks. Going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. I hope you liked it. Feel free to add me on Discord or join the Discord page. Yeah.
For sure. Now we have like 7 minutes left until 1 hour. Sam, what do you think?
It will take us probably to about 5 past. So if it's better, what I can do is just post it on the guild system channel. So it's just a video of the current state, what I've been working on since I presented it about 2 weeks ago. So my concept. This is like a version 0.1, if you like. So probably best I'll just post a video on that channel. I've just got to work out how to export it. But yeah, once that's done, please just give it a watch.
Yeah, for sure, you can do that. Maybe we can have you on next week to talk a bit about that video and add some context and thoughts and update us on that if you'd like to.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Awesome. Then let's do it that way. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for joining the dev call. It's been a pleasure as always. Been great to hear all the updates, to see the introduction to DeadlyGames. Great as always. Yeah, let's just wrap it up here. I have one last thing to say. We have another Twitter Spaces tomorrow on Thursday. It's going to be about historical on-chain data and soulbound tokens in on-chain games and what it means for on-chain games. So definitely go check that out. I'm going to post an announcement in the Discord right after this call as well. So if you have any kind of interest in that, then definitely go check out the Twitter Spaces tomorrow on the Matchbox Dev Twitter account about historical on-chain data and soulbound tokens. With that being said, let's wrap up the call. Thank you guys for attending. Have a nice evening.